The the English Interregnum was the period of parliamentary and military rule in the land occupied by modern-day England and Wales after the English Civil War. It began with the execution of Charles the First in 1649 and ended when Charles the Second became king after Oliver Cromwell died in 60. This era in English history can be divided into four periods. The first period is a period of the Commonwealth of England from 1649 until 1653. The Commonwealth of England was the republican government which ruled first England and then Ireland and Scotland from 1649 to 1660. After the execution of Charles the First on January 30, 1649, the Commonwealth was declared an act declaring um, England to be a Commonwealth by the Ram Parliament on May 19, 1649. The government during 1653 to 1659 is properly called the Protectorate and took the form of direct personal rule by Oliver Cromwell and after his death his son Richard as Lord Protector. The term Commonwealth is, however, loosely used to describe the system of government during the whole of 1649 to 1660, the years of English Interregnum. I discuss the period for period and the along with the explanations. It is must for need experience to know about the this period, the civil war and the interregnum, so that they can understand the whole situation of the England. In the second, the Protector under Oliver Cromwell from 1653 to 1658, the Protectorate was the period of British history during which the Commonwealth of England, Scotland, and Ireland was governed by a Lord Protector, which was from 1653 to 1659. Before the Protectorate, England and then Scotland and Ireland had been ruled directly by Parliament since it had declared England to be a Commonwealth in 1649. The Ram Parliament had been sent away in April 1653 by soldiers led by Oliver Cromwell. There, where the then you may have the question the who what or who is the Ram Parliament. So England was instead controlled by the Ram Parliament. Those who remained in Parliament after Charles' supporters were kicked out of office. So, this is the Ram Parliament. Uh, Although the replacement uh, Barrybones Parliament, July to December 1653, was nominated by Cromwell or Oliver Cromwell, okay, and the leaders of the army. It was just as difficult to control. The post of Lord Protector was created by a constitution passed in December 1653, which gave Cromwell or Oliver Cromwell the position for life. Although the Constitution divided power between the Lord Protector, the Council of the State, and Parliament, there was in practice again the strong executive power that had been absent since the end of the monarchy. Cromwellian government has been called one of the first experiments in military dictatorship. During the Protectorate, there was Puritan uh, le- legislations, religious toleration was extended to Jews and most Protestants, but not Anglicans or Roman Catholics. After Cromwell's death in September 1658, the new Lord Protector Richard Cromwell was unable to control the army and resigned in May 1659 after the chaotic English Interregnum. The monarchy was restored in May 1660 through the uh, initiative of General George Monk. So, we see here the capture of this power and the military control. They want to control the military power, and the Oliver Cromwell who defeated the Charles the First, and they still then in 16 um sorry 1649 to 1660. In that time period, there is no king who ruled in the England, and the rule in this period, the rule and Oliver Cromwell no don't take the throne. He take control the parliament or parliament, and parliament take the rule over the England, and they produce new rules. And Oliver Cromwell is uh, a big a big character in here, a big role play in this period. Okay. And the third is the protectorate under Richard Cromwell from 1658 to 1659. So the time period is also important. Richard Cromwell, who born in 1626 and died in 1712, was the third son of Oliver Cromwell. So Oliver Cromwell's third son is Richard Cromwell, and the second Lord Protector of England, Scotland, and Ireland, for title over 8 months from 3 September 1658 until 25 May 1659. Richard Cromwell's enemies called him uh, Hickory Dickory and Queen Dick. Okay, so we s- we know about this word, Richard Cromwell. Richard Cromwell, so Lord Protector of the Commonwealth of England, Scotland, and Ireland, in office 3rd September 1658 and 25th May 1659, 264 days, preceded by Oliver Cromwell, succeeded by Council of State personal details born 4th October 1626. Huntingdon, England, where he died. Oliver Cromwell died at the age of 8. Sorry, Richard Cromwell died at age of 85. So this is the basic information. I skip it. Okay. Sponge's name and the relationship with Oliver Cromwell, so that's not very important. I can skip. And the Lord Protector of the Commonwealth, arms of the Protector. Okay. Sir Richard Cromwell was not suited to ruling the country. He followed his father as ruler only because he was Oliver's oldest living son, and people extended one of Oliver's sons to follow him. After a short time, he gave up power, and he knew that many of the people wanted King Charles II to come back from Holland and rule the country. So after the defeat of the King the First, and then his son King the Charles took the throne, but the Oliver Cromwell also defeated the Charles II, and he fled away to Holland. Okay, when it was agreed that Charles would return, Richard thought it would be best for him to leave Britain, and he went to live in France for a while. So Oliver Cromwell's son, Cromwell, after his father's death, he took the part of the duty, and when he knew that the Charles II came back, then he left the Britain and went to France. He changed his name to John on the clerk. So it's also important that he Richard Cromwell changed his uh, name to John uh, Clerk, and traveled around Europe, not returning home for 20 years. When he came back, he lived quietly outside London for the rest of his life. Stories about Richard Cromwell. The story is that the nursery rhyme Hickory Dickory Dock is actually about Richard Cromwell. One of Richard's nicknames was Hickory Dick. The mouse in the rhyme runs down when the clock uh, strikes on, and Cromwell only resigned for 1 year. So the poem is very significant here, and we all um, read it in our childhood, where we learn this rhyme very enjoyably. And the number fourth is the second period of the Commonwealth of England from 1659 until 1660. The Commonwealth of England was the Republican government which ruled first England and then Ireland and Scotland from 1649 to 1660. After the execution of Charles I on January 13th, 1649, the Commonwealth was declared an act declaring England to be a Commonwealth by the Ram Parliament on May 1649. The government during 1653 to 1659 is probably called the Protectorate, and took the form of direct personal rule by Oliver Cromwell, and after his death his son Richard as Lord Protector. The term Commonwealth is, however, loosely used to describe the system of government during the whole of 1649 to 1660, the years of the English Interregnum. So, life during the Interregnum, life during the Interregnum, Oliver Cromwell was a Puritan, and during the Interregnum, he imposed a very strict form of Christianity upon the country. So he imposed rules that every Sunday, when the children want to play or weekend, the children's going for the play, but he says that no, it's not for a enjoyable day. It's a prayer day where people can peacefully pray in the church. So this rule also imposed in the people. Although a main cause of the English Civil War was oppression under Charles I, England during the Interregnum became oppressive in its own fashion. Cromwell granted religious freedom otherwise previously unknown in England, but other forms of expression were suddenly limited. For instance, theatre, which had thrived under the Stuart kings and Elizabeth I, was banned. So, in the time of the Oliver Cromwell, the theatre is was banned. People can't go for the theater because the Oliver Cromwell think that the theater um is a bad habit or bad manners for that people can't take it. Cromwell also made certain that his own personal vision of Christianity was enforced upon the masses. Many of Cromwell's actions were called harsh, unwise, and uh, tyrannical by some commentators. His son and successor, Richard Cromwell, gave up his position as Lord Protector with little hesitation, resigning or abdicating after a demand by the Ram Parliament. This was the beginning of a short period of restoration of the Commonwealth